Hello there, and welcome to the basics of Python. Today, we will be going over what a function is and the three simplest functions that Python has to offer. A function is a named sequence of statements that performs a computation. When defining a function, you always clearly specify the name and the sequence of statements that you are trying to use. Once your function is complete, you call the function by the function's name. An example of this is type, parentheses 32, and the type of function it is an integer. The name of the specific function is type, and the expression in the parentheses is referred to as the argument of the function. For this function, its result is the type of argument inside of the parentheses, which is an integer. An integer is simply any whole number. The normal language for coding would be to say that the function takes an argument which then returns a result. That result is called the return value. When using Python, there are built-in functions that change values from one type to another type. For example, the int function takes any value and converts it into an integer like the number 32. Nothing changes when looking at the output because it is already in integer form. Now, if you were to input a string that says hello in the argument instead of 32, you would get an error message explaining how hello is an invalid literal for the int function because the int function only takes numerical values. Let's say we have a floating point numerical value like 3.9999, and we put that into an argument while using the same function int. This will now completely eradicate the floating fraction, not rounding up or down respectively, but eradicate, which will leave the 3 alone in the output. If we put negative 2.3, the output will be negative 2. There is also a built-in function called float, which converts integers and strings to floating point values. For instance, if we have a float function with an argument of 32, the output will be 32.0. If we have a float function with an argument of 3.14159, the output will be 3.14159 because a floating point already existed within that value. Lastly, the built-in function string converts any argument within its function to a string, which basically adds an apostrophe to both sides and turns each character into an organized group, word, or phrase. If we have the string function with the argument 32, the output will be the string 32 instead of the value 32. And if the argument is 3.14159, then the output of the function will be the string 3.14159 instead of the numerical value 3.14159. Congratulations! You finished the lesson. Now you can go apply all your great new knowledge to your coding in Python.